right. Good morning, party people. How's it going? Happy Friday. Yes, it's actually bright outside, or for after some of you for afternoon. I worked with a European client this morning, so of course different time zones mean I'm done already European time. So now I get to actually stream too during the day. Morning, a lot of people in SQL Dev DBA Power to Mario says nice to see your son in your windows. And usually, Richie, usually I leave the windows just completely open, but I have to darken some of them when I go do the streaming thing because it kind of screws with my camera and the light balance and all that. Still haven't gotten everything exactly the way that I want on the stream. I don't know, it's got to be like an endless challenge. Like people are continuously trying to get it exactly right. You see all kinds of high-end streamers doing more and more advanced tricks. Richie, I don't have them in OBS. So I'm trying a brand new streaming app today. Well, it's not brand new. This is what most streamers use is OBS. It's like Open Broadcaster Studio. Normally I use an app called Streamlabs OBS, which makes streaming easier, has a little more powerful features and stuff like that. But it's been crashy as hell for me. It's been locking up and like freezing in weird ways. So I'm switching over to just plain OBS just to see if it works okay. Y'all shouldn't notice any difference, but of course this is how we find these things out, right? So normally I do like open questions and answers, get to know all of you and all that kind of thing. Today I am on a mission. Today I want to knock out a bunch of issues in the first responder kit to go get things coded and ready for the August release. So I'm just going to focus on doing that, but I wanted to share, just stream while ever I go out and do it, because some of you find it interesting to watch me go do live coding in T-SQL, work with Github, Management Studio, all that kind of thing. So let's go get started. So I have here, new subscription, Drop Table employees. Welcome to the club. Thank you. Good to have you in the club there. So I've got my GitHub First Responder Kit repository. So those of you who haven't been over to GitHub for our First Responder Kit repository, it's firstresponderkit.org. So over at firstresponderkit.org is where people can file issues about it, say that they found a bug, ask for requests for enhancements. They can contribute pull requests, all kinds of things. Digital Axiom, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in for Prime. I appreciate it. Very cool. David, not another juicy stream while I'm working. Adios. Jedi Mind Gorilla, good to see you. Adios, or welcome. Not adios. The hell sense does that make? Okay, so let's go through some of these. I want to try and pick off an easy one first. I'm going to pick off this one first. SP Blitz Revisit Priorities 1 through 50. All the time while I'm teaching people and I'm talking to clients, I constantly joke that SP Blitz warnings with priority 1 through 50 are the things that you should get fired for. And it's very rare that a database administrator ever gets fired. I even had a blog post a while back about what would it take for you to fire a database administrator. And it would take some pretty egregious stuff. But so what is in priorities 1 through 50, morning, Dimitri, that I might want to juggle around? For example, enabling access to the remote DAC has been priority 50 for a while. And I'm like, I don't think that's really urgent. So what I'm going to do in order to do this is I'm going to switch over to code and I'm going to look at documentation. This is the easiest place to start, and we have a list of SP Blitz checks by priority. So in here, I can go through and kind of read through and see if there's anything that I might need to juggle around. I always feel guilty whenever I change stuff like this in SP Blitz because I imagine that some people will be surprised when priorities change because it's used by other people. It's used by consulting companies, software vendors, all kinds of people all over the world. So I'm hesitant to change some of this stuff, but I think it's really important at this point. So all this stuff, backups not performed. We haven't been backing up our encryption certificate. We've got database corruption that's been detected. Memory dangerously low. I'm reading down through all these, like evaluation edition, because it's a ticking time bomb. All those are okay. That's okay. This is especially okay in this day and age, a 32-bit SQL server. Do not let rent code. See, Richie can't even typo correctly. He's like... He's all over the place in terms of his typing. It really does make work for him, though. Today, Richie, I would like to point out that I found a bug. I mean, I didn't find a bug. A customer found a bug, and it's not my code. It's your code. Camaro, 2 months in a row. Thank you, Camaro. I appreciate it. Good to see you again as well. Auto close and auto shrink. Auto shrink ran recently. I would argue still that even those are pretty ugly, nasty offenses for a database administrator under most circumstances. This, I think we've actually taken out. CPU with an odd number of cores. Drop clean buffers. You shouldn't be doing any of this stuff. This is all bad. This is all bad. This is all bad. This is bad. Okay, now this isn't bad. So plan guides failing. Is plan guides failing really a priority 20? Is it like as bad as running an unsupported build of SQL Server? I would argue probably not. In a lot of situations, you're probably going to find plan guides failing. So that's probably a good example of one that I need to move around. Now, the thing over on the far right-hand side here, the far right-hand side, this number is the check ID. It's almost think of it as like an identity column for our checks, starts at 1 and goes up to a bajillion. If you want to pop open the code of SP Blitz and uniquely identify queries, that's true. Uniquely identify queries, you can do a Control F for that number, and that's probably going to be a quick and easy way to catch it. So I'm going to, for that one as an example, I'm going to say that's one of the ones that I want to catch. So I'm going to pop open a new tab here, and I'm going to go over to the first responder kit. Mossy, mossy, moss. One of these days I got to look up that song, Mossy Moss, to see if you were right. Revisit priorities. So I'm going to put over here in the list of checks that I need to change. Checks to change. So that one was 182, query store cleanup disabled. No, it's not 182. It's plan guides failing, 164. See, I almost had a bug right there. 164, plan guides failing, lower to priority. Yeah, so now where does it fit in inside the list? If you have plan guides that are failing, do you need to drop everything and go work on it? Probably not. I would probably go down around so these are poison weights in priority 50. I don't think it's that important. I would probably dump it in under priority 100. There are a bunch of stuff down in priority 100 type performance issues, so let's move it there. So let's say priority 100. What else do we need to change? We were way back up at 20 where we were with plan guides failing. Query store cleanup disabled, that's pretty bad. Unsupported builds, C drives, that's pretty bad. File growths are slow, that's all pretty bad. Mossy Moss. Now I see if I play it though on the live stream, I need to write down this. And it's funny that I would use old school pen and paper, but for some reason taking notes always just seems better with this. So find Mossy Moss. So I'll have to go search that, and then next time on the next webcast, I'll be able to tell you which one it is. MD Mumtaz Khan, if you want to just ask random questions, there's a site for that. It's called Google. Yeah. So file growth slow. I don't know that that's really... No, growths. Oh, growths is. Growths. Growths means that SQL Server's waiting to grow a data or log file. Oh, that is important because I don't want that happening live in real time all the time for people. So that's still priority 50. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Poison weights are a big deal. Too much free memory is a big deal. No, drop table, that is not a good way. That is not a good way to handle parameter sniffing. And I love that you say your friend. That's very good. But I have a fundamentals of parameter sniffing class coming up too as well. I should give y'all a coupon. I should give y'all a coupon for fundamentals of parameter sniffing. All right, let's do that. Let me go hop over into the site and get a coupon together. So if you want to register for fundamentals of parameter sniffing, it's an upcoming class. Let me Google let's go see where it's at. So fundamentals of parameter sniffing, Brent Ozar. So fundamentals of parameter sniffing, and where the hell is it? That's I still need to work on my SEO, evidently. So fun because the top link is the recorded classes. Oh yeah, Dtovi, too bad for you. Fundamentals of parameter sniffing, not query tuning. You moron. Well, of course I could just always click on the top and just click training. And then let's go down to fundamentals of parameter sniffing. So here it is. When's our next class? Our next class is, I need to edit that page because May the 26th is in the past. Next week, so it's next week, August the 4th. All right, let's get the coupon together here. So the coupon, we're going to add it, and who was it that made me suggest it? Drop table employees. So the coupon code will be drop table employees. It'll give percentage discount 50%. Actually, screw it. Let's do 80%. Why not? Because I can. We will expire it tomorrow, 2020-08-02. And then we will say it can only be used on parameter sniffing. And let's see here, fundamentals of parameter sniffing. And then let's see, that should do it. So we'll limit it to just the first 20 people who use it. And then publish. All right, so the coupon code is, we'll get a drum roll going here. The coupon code is drop table employees. Where the hell is someplace that I can write it on? So let's come over here and new query. So the coupon code equals drop table employees, and that's 80% off my fundamentals of parameter sniffing class. First, what did I say, 20 people? First 20 people only. So there you go. I'll let y'all go ahead and I'll zoom in a little so that you can see that a little bit. And there you go. Alien Sky, I know, I hear you. And especially because they just had that whole GDPR thing where they broke down the, whatever they called the Privacy Shield Act, that the EU broke that down. Just absolutely drives me crazy. I thought we were getting kind of vaguely close there to being able to support the UK, and then no go. All right. So have a dentist app. A dentist app. Oh, an appointment. Rather take the class. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, a really savvy person would notice that you have the instant replays included as well, but of course I understand that you're not that savvy. Happens to the best of us. D. Tovey says, I would sell my housewife and kids for a course. It's like that bartering TV show that every now and then you see people barter on. Okay, so coming back over here. So back over on our original scheduled broadcast. So we were looking through here, and let's see, we saw too much free memory. That's a big deal. Wait stats being cleared. A database snapshot is online. That's not really a database snapshot online. That's a great example of something that shouldn't really be priority 50. It's more just an informational. So let's lower the priority on that one too. That's check ID 77. Database snapshot is online. Lower to priority. What else we got in here that's lower priority for reliability? Do we have 100 level reliability? I'm not real worried about that. I could actually go even lower. Yeah, I like it around 170 because 170 has this stuff here that could kind of sort of come back and catch you later, but maybe not. So 170. I like this one around 170. It almost sounds like an auction. What else? Coming back up, we were in the 50s. So 50s, that was database snapshot online. DBCC write page used recently. I could even argue that should be higher. That's bananas. No one should be using DBCC write page, and we have DBCC commands up higher. So we have drop clean buffers and performance. I'm going to throw this all the way up to 10. So that DBCC write page used recently, that's 209. We're going to raise that to 10. That's the wrong screen. Let's go back over here. Shoot, I forgot to, what the hell was the DBCC write page? 209. So 209 DBCC write page used recently, raised to priority 10. What else we got in here? Errors logged recently in the default trace. You know, I don't think I've ever had a case where I went, let me drop everything and go focus on that. So with that one, I think the same thing. I'm going to lower that one on a reliability wise either. No, Anna, because of the EU and or because of the GDPR, unfortunately, I don't have the resources to go deal with all that compliance stuff. So the check we were looking at, oh, cool. Well, Malik, see you in class. So that was errors logged recently in the default trace. So boom, whoops, errors logged recently in the default trace, lower to priority 170. And then full text index is not updating. That I'm actually going to leave at 50 because it kind of catches people by surprise sometimes. Page verification not option or optimal, that's a big deal. Log shipping's a big deal. The DAC, this is one of those where I go, this isn't really that big of a deal. I'm going to lower that to 170 as well. So 170. Yo, is there a way to access? No, so brave. Yeah, I got nothing for you. I would say you probably want to, if you want to take malware advice from me, you're in bad trouble. Lower to priority 170. Next up, Tempdb file error, that's a big deal. Log larger than the data file. I don't know that I would call that a fireable offense, but I'm just like, it's probably not a good idea, especially around restores. Restores is where it usually catches people. And this one I would also say is a big deal. Okay, great. So now we have the list of the stuff that we want to go change. So here are the ones that we want to go change. Now I need to actually change, I need to change two things. I need to change the priority in SP Blitz. And then I also, you're welcome. Yeah, Dave, I agree that having the remote DAC is important. I just don't know that it's a fireable offense. You know, where I try to think of priorities 1 through 50 as, yo, get your act in order. You need to go fix this really quickly. So now I need to change it in two places. I need to change it in that file we were just looking at, which is and we talk, TZH, yeah, we talk about that over in the more info pages, which also tells me you probably never ran SP Blitz or read the full info pages, which is kind of a sad thing. So I need to edit this page, and then I need to edit SP Blitz itself. So let's get cracking. We have our URL, or we have our list of stuff now. So I got, this is GitHub issue number 2492. Cool, see you in class, Jedi Mind Gorilla. So let's see, where is my GitHub desktop? There's my GitHub desktop. Let's go create a branch. So this is GitHub desktop that lets me go and do branches, doesn't actually let me do pull requests. Let's go create a new branch. We're going to say 2492 SP Blitz reprioritize, new branch, create the branch, and then I'm going to go over into the folder where these files live, and it's in ctemp, and don't judge me. Masi, see you in class. I know I still can't get to the command line. I still am not able to really do GitHub and Azure Data Studio. I'm just not quite to the point where I'm there. I'm trying to get closer, but I'm just not to the point where I'm there. So here we have all the files in the First Responder Kit repo that even includes the, you know, I don't know that I have. Hold on a second. Let's go look at GitHub. I might have stuck that in the wrong place. Yeah, I'm in the wrong folder. Okay, there we go. So these are the files in the First Responder GitHub repo. If I go up here under documentation, you don't use the command line either. Well, you got that fancy GitHub editor. You got like this fancy GitHub application that does all this stuff. Richie's a full-time developer. He's a real developer, whereas I play one on Twitch. So I need to look at SP Blitz checks by priority. So if I go in here and I go, Pete, you can read the prerequisites in there on the course. You can read the documentation on the course. So let's see here. Let's open it with, I'm going to open it with Notepad only because Typora, which is my favorite markdown editor, actually hoses with some of the formatting when I'm doing the open source type stuff. So here's a list of checks and their priorities. This is the stuff that I got to go edit. One of the two things I got to go edit. So let's go over and move this so that I can have it side by side at the same place where my GitHub page is at, and just kind of move this this around a little here so that y'all can see it. So plan guides failing is 164. Let's go move that around and then cut that. You're on fire today. Cut that, and so that we're going to drop down to 100, and it's I can't remember if that's a reliability or a performance issue. Yeah, it's reliability. Perfect. 100 Marathon. Good to see you again. Marathon, thanks. Good for joining in. Dang! Oh, he's throwing it around again. Marathon went wild and crazy with the subscriptions last time. It looks like congratulations. Junebug, Greg Bargsley, Havitigalure, SP Help DBA, Games from the Drunk Side. A bunch of y'all are getting free subscriptions today thanks to Marathon. You should high five Marathon, greatest of all time yeah. So let's see here. So we got 164. We moved that down to here for plan guides failing. So we've got that one. Then let's get 77 is a database snapshot online. We're going to move that around there. Marathon says type something in chat. What? So there we go. That should do something inside there. Oh, lottery winner. Hey, CGS. My wife is so big on lotto. It's not even funny. So let's see here. We got that. That is 77. Lower to 170. So to come down here under 170. And this is database snapshot online. So we'll put you right there. And then what's next? 209 DBCC write page. What? It's not in there. What? Oh. Don't you hate those heartbreaking moments when you're trying to fix one thing and then something else comes up? So what we're having here is that inside the documentation, there's a check that isn't listed. So then I got to go in and add it. Oh, God, I hate it when that stuff happens. So let's see here. At 209 DBCC write page used recently. And we're lowering it to we're raising it to priority 10. So let's go way up here in priority 10, and there are a couple of other DBCC commands up there. So we're going to pop that down and say DBCC write page used recently, and that is 209. I happen to know, CGS is your half-hour hourglass, isn't hourglassing. It's true, I should have flipped it just to note my progress on a GitHub issue. Okay, so 209, that works. So we've got that in. Errors logged recently in the default trace. Right now we've got that as 50. That's another one that I want to move down. So he's going down to priority 170 as well. Reliability errors logged in the default trace. All right, so there's 170. And then last one, remote admin connections disable. We're going to lower that to 170 as well. Remote admin connections, lower that down, and he is coming down here, and that's that, 170. Okay, so that fixes the text file. That fixes the documentation. Now I got to go fix SPBlitz itself. Now the way that SPBlitz works, let me explain this for a second. So the way that SPBlitz works is it starts by creating a temp table called Blitz results. And then all throughout the rest of the stored procedure, all I'm doing is saying, go look for a problem. If you find it, put lines into that temp table. Put lines into Blitz first. So I'm going to find, given that we have 5 checks that we're going to change, I'm going to find 5 lines in SPBlitz where I'm looking for that particular check ID, and all I have to do is edit its line to change its priority. Let's go see if we can find them. So I've got the documentation part done. Now I got to do this other part. So for this other part, CGS says, wow, massive backlighting. Well, that's what happens when you have the sun of San Diego out there. So I got to close some of my blinds just because it's awesomely bright inside here. So let's go into SPBlitz itself. So let's pop open SPBlitz. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new window, and I'm going to put over on the right-hand side, I'm going to put the IDs that we're looking for just to make it easier for the stream's sake. So here we go. We've got this over here. This is the change that I need to make. I am live coding, Father. Father Robot, my real dad. My real dad's not really a robot. My real dad is a big fella in western Michigan who likes fishing and drinking, and he's retired. Yay, Dad. So let's see here. I need to find 164, which is plan guides failing. So here it is. So here's plan guides failing. What we're doing is we're checking to see if we don't have any rows in a particular table telling me that I need to skip this check, then go insert into Blitz results, select check ID 164, and right there, this is where we're inserting the priority into a temp table. This is a really easy bug fix, or it's not even really a bug, just change of behavior. I'm going to change some of these numbers. So instead of priority 20, now I want that one to be, what did I decide? Priority 100. So there we go, priority 100. Next up is a snapshot online. So here is the one where we're checking for a snapshot online. Let me just kind of make some changes around here to make it easier. Let me make some changes around here. And let's, and you, just so that I can have this easier on the screen to see if I move it over sideways. So there's 160. 77 was a snapshot is online. So here's that one. Check to see if a snapshot is online, what the database is. Doesn't really need to be a high priority. We're going to lower that to priority 170. 209 DBCC write page used. Who the hell is going to be doing that? It was amazing to me that anybody's ever done that. Raise that to priority 10. And then errors logged recently in the default trace. 150 seems like a real tough thing to go search for because I got a whole lot of things at priority 150. Yes, absolutely. The Yeti guide, it completely is. MIT license. You can totally do anything that you want in terms of submitting pull requests, doing fixes, whatever. If you go to firstresponderkit.info, and I'll type that over here up above my head, firstresponderkit.org. Why the hell did I go info? So firstresponderkit.org. Okay, so triggers on tables. I can't do a 150 search because there are too many things that are 150. So I'm going to say errors logged recently. Let's see if we get it that way. Cha-ching. That is exactly it. That's absolutely perfect. So here then, I agree. Either MIT or sometimes people will use Creative Commons. I'm okay with those two as well. Let's go see. Did we not have? All right, so we're putting stuff in from a temp table, and then here it is. Oh no, there's an error with the default trace, so that's different. So here it is. That's it right there. Errors logged recently in the default trace, and we said we were lowering that to priority 170, and then the last is the remote DAC. So I'm going to look for that error. Here it is. So we're doing priority 50 here, and we decided to raise that to 170. Ta-da! Now, I'll usually do a round of testing just to kind of vaguely see what's going on. I'm not like Richie or the cool kids. I don't have unit testing set up on this thing because it's just too hard to mock SQL Server's built-in diagnostic tables or DMVs. It's too hard to get SQL Server to produce a fake set of DMVs, for example. So what we're going to do, I know, right? What we're going to do is I'm going to test it live in production. So I know. Check server info. I know. All I'm really doing is checking to make sure that the thing still actually runs and that it doesn't produce an error. And then maybe for bonus points, I know I should be really ashamed. For bonus points, we're going to go down and see here is ding, ding, ding. So now this fix, quote unquote, I've lowered the priority of the remote DAC being disabled. That's down under priority 170, so we're better off already. So now don't lie to me over in chat. I bet a lot of you who are database administrators, I mean, there are probably a percentage of us here on the webcast who aren't database administrators, who are only, I say only, but who are developers. I'll tell you, so those of you who are only developers, most DBAs, they do all their testing in production. They write DMV scripts from scratch. They write cursors. They use temp tables. Everything they tell you not to do, like for each loops, not putting your stuff in source control, database administrators do all of that. They're terrible at development. Like, not even close. So yeah, data is my drug. The more compliance that you have to deal with, the more compliance officers and security and encryption, all that stuff, the more common it is to have things like test environments. The Yeti guy. Okay, so we've got that done. I'm happy that we got that coded. Now let's close that and close this guy. And now we'll check in our changes. I love the little GitHub user interface, the GitHub desktop, you probably should, the GitHub desktop interface here where it shows me everything that I changed, just to make it really easy to make sure I didn't accidentally add some kind of wacko character. I'm a wacko character. So I'll scroll down through here just to make sure there are no changes that are unusual. Then we will say, let's check it in, 2492. Zoom in down here so you can see it. SP Blitz, whoops, forgot my space, SP Blitz, reprioritize, Let's all have a moment of calm for my typing capabilities. Reprioritize checks so that I can say with a straight face, you should be seriously concerned about priorities 1 through 50. Closes number 2492. Commit. And then I will do a pull request. And then do a pull request for this. Yeah, exactly right. Wah, wah, wah. So I'll assign myself. This was, I'm going to call it a bug in SP Blitz. And then I'm going to say that is for this month's milestone. I say this, but it's August, but we're getting ready to do the release for that. Create that pull request. GitHub tells me there are no conflicts with the branch, so that is fantastic. Merge it. And now I have a blog post where I keep the improvements, the list of things that we changed in this version. So I need to edit the post to include that. Where is my article number? 2492. So let's come over to our WordPress post. So this is over here in WordPress where I have the monthly, or the blog posts that I have coming up. So this one I do a blog post for every month when I do a release. Let's come down here into SP Blitz. Oh, I don't have change section for that yet. So we'll say SP Blitz changes. It was, nothing else matters. It was drop table employees. Drop table employees. And then SP Blitz changes. This is fix. Reprioritize a few of the checks so that I can say with a straight face that you should drop everything and focus if you have stuff, if you have alerts between priorities 1 through 50. Number 2492, and put my link inside there. Shoot, I copied instead of pasted. Copy, paste, and then make this a heading, heading 3, and save my work because I am completely anal retentive. So there's that. All right, that's a nice, easy, quick first one to get started with. So that's why I wanted to get into that. Whenever I have to go do GitHub work, whenever I have to go do fixes for the first responder kit, like I like to get on the horse slowly, like pick something that it's easy to tackle. There's productivity advice experts will tell you the same kind of thing with your own to-do list. Whenever you're getting ready to pack up for the day, whenever you're ready to clean up, leave yourself something really easy to do for whenever you start back work again, because it's a really easy task to just go knock off and kind of be done with it. All right, so let's see what we got that's a little bit harder. So now, let's see here. I know that this one here that says SP Blitz first throws an error, I know that the user is working on code for that, so I believe that the user's working on code for that. Let me go click on it and make sure that that's the one that I think it is. Yeah, he says, I will spend some time on it early next week and report the progress. Okay, that's cool. I know Adrian's working on this one. Calculation for user store token perm looks incorrect. That's pretty easy too. So I'm going to go take a look at that. So what is this? What's the issue that we're dealing with here? Because I bet a lot of you are so young and delicate that you've never heard of the user store and token perm cache. So the user store and token perm cache, a long time ago, back in the days of SQL Server 2000 to 2005, SQL Server used to cache login credential information. It still does, but back in the 2000-2005 days, SQL Server would cache login credential information, and then it didn't do a great job of freeing up memory when you had a whole lot of queries coming in that were doing things like ad hoc T-SQL, and they were all using different logins. So you could get to a point where the amount of memory that was getting used was like 10, 20, 30% of SQL Server's RAM, and it would push other things out of memory like the plan cache. And back in those dark days, as we were trying to troubleshoot the problem, you would hit servers that couldn't cache a single execution plan. Most of us don't measure how much stuff we can fit in the plan cache. Most of us just kind of assumed that if you're running queries, SQL Server is probably going to cache some queries. And you don't go look to see how many query plans are cached or how far back they are. Well, back then, Microsoft implemented a fix. They give you a temporary dbcc command in order to fix it until you could get patched. And for a long time, that wasn't a problem again, until the last few years. And in the last few years, I've seen clients running into this with 2016, 2017, where their user store and token perm cache grew to say like 10, 20, 30% of the server's RAM and elbowed everything else out of memory in terms of plan cache. So we started putting in SP Blitz and SP Blitz cache warnings to tell you about this. But it looks like we have an error inside there. So the error inside there, Mike says, I think the division should be, what we're going to do is checking a thing called pages KB. Pages KB divided by 1024 divided by 1024 should give you gigs. Well, what it looks like in parts of something else or another query, it's using pages KB 128. Now, if the number that was being measured in this DMV, and I want to say it's clerks, I want to say it's this DMOS memory clerks, if pages KB in there is actually KB, then it should be this number. Where if the number being reported by pages KB is measured in pages, then this formula would be correct. You can never tell. Some of the DMVs actually report pages, like when we're dealing with logical reads. Some of them report in pages kilobytes. So let's go take a look at the query that we're running over there, see what DMV it's hitting, and see what unit of measure. So let's go see what the unit of measure is. So one of the things I love, oh, Jeff, thank you. Welcome to the club. Thank you over in YouTube there. So let's go see. I'm going to copy out this user perm gigs, go into there, and let's see what's in here. Okay, so it is. I was right. So it is. I mean, I was right. The only thing I was right about so far is which DMV it was. So the DMV that we're pulling it out of is sysdmos memory clerks. And if you can see up here, that's 1024. That part up there is using 1024. If I scroll across a little over here, everything in here looks right as long as sysdmos memory clerks, the single pages KB, is actually in KB. So let's go out and take a look in Books Online. Paste that in there. And let's go see. So here, what's it measured in? They don't say. They just say pages KB specifies the amount of, oh, they know they do. Oh, good. Oh, yes. Oh, awesome. So if it's measured in kilobytes, then that formula that we were just looking at is correct because this actually does say divided by 1024. Now, however, though, the bug report, DVAX, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Thank you. Welcome to the club. So, so in here, though, he says, if you look at the calc for older version, 11 lines down, it's using 1024. What the hell? Did I miss something inside there then? Let's go look. Let's pop this in another tab. Let's go 11 lines down. And then down here, there is no other store 11 lines down. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. Channeling Vinny. Up at the top, see how it says pages? Woo! Up at the top, it says, that never gets old to me. Pages KB divided by 128, and then down here it says 24. That up there is the error. That up there is the error at 5138. This one's okay. That one down here is bad. I'm holding up the thing. Oh, the thing, or I'm hanging from my arms. One of the two. So that's the part I got to fix right there, is that line 5138 part. So let's go hop into GitHub. Let's switch our branches back to the main and pull the changes. Let's see, his number there is 2487. That's not what I wanted to do. I have to reload around my keyboard shortcuts when I move across from Windows to Mac, because nothing ever works right. 2487. SP Blitz cache. User store token perm. Why am I typing and yelling? Create that branch. And then let's go open up SP Blitz cache. SP Blitz cache. And now let's go to 5138. And so here's the section that we were seeing in GitHub. The top one is the one that I got to change. I just got to change it to 1028 instead of, or change it to 1024 instead of 1038. 1024. Save, close, and close that because we're done with it. And then come back over here. Number 2487, we'll zoom in so you can see it, 2487, SP Blitz cache, user store token perm. On older versions of SQL Server, the calculation was incorrect. Closes number 2487. Commit it, publish the branch, do a pull request, and assign myself. And so assign me. This was a bug in SP Blitz cache, SP Blitz cache, and then that is in this month's repo, or this month's release. Create pull request. Scrolling down, merge the pull request. There's a whole lot of clicking involved in order to do this stuff. I look forward to easier workflows at some point in the future. So now let's thank Mike for catching this. Oh, and I should take a second to say, I bet you're wondering, Brent, aren't you going to test that code? The answer is no. Back to our regular. So over here, we're going to go over and say it's in this month's milestone. We're going to thank Mike for his work. Thanks for catching that. I've made the change, and I'm sure it works beautifully, even though I didn't test it. Merged into the dev branch, will be in the August release, with credit for you in the release notes. So now let's go. Now we'll go put that into the post as well. SP Blitz cache. Fix. Fix. The answer is obvious. Fix on the user store token perm calculation was incorrect on older. I can't just say older versions of SQL Server. I need to be a little bit better than that. So this was, if the version is greater than, oh damn, we had it wrong. It's on newer versions. It's kind of awkward. We'll just say on the calculation was incorrect for single, or was multiple single was it Pages KB? Pages KB. Number, what was this issue number on this one? 2487. 2487. 2487. Thanks, Mike Vernon. And copy paste this out. Let's get Mike's GitHub profile link so that, damn it, I hit copy again. Paste, and then over here get Mike's link for his GitHub page, because I like to credit people in their GitHub by their GitHub names over during the releases. Paste. All right, we got another one. That's 2. Another one. All right, so we're done with that. Now let's see what else we got in here. Issues. I kind of like having issues down under 10 because they're usually a bunch of background issues that people have been working on for a while. But so now what do I want to go hit next? So let's see here. This is actually kind of comical here, and I should probably fix this one. Oh, before I talk about it, I should do a shout out to this week's sponsor. So this week's sponsor is I am invisible. Okay, that's not acceptable. Hold on a second here. Let's add me, because it would sure help if I was on site there as well. Add camera 2, and then let's fit me onto the screen. Don't you just love it when people actually like, hi, I'm really big now. I'm huge in Japan. Transform, fit to screen, and then let's make this smaller, if I got that right. Yep, there we go. Okay, that worked. And then let's get this side over smaller. Let's move you over here. People are like, that was terrifying. And then we'll move me over here. Then I got to sync below too so that your chat stuff comes up higher than I do. Let's get that fixed. So move me all the way down here, and there we go. Yeah, Code with Sean says, are you using OBS? Yeah, I just switched from Streamlabs over to OBS because I was having all these problems with Streamlabs crashing all the time on me. They had a new preview release coming. Didn't work well with Blackmagic cards. I've got a Blackmagic quad HDMI card because I keep trying to add all kinds of cameras and stuff. Games from the drunk side. So the shout out this week to Quest for sponsoring this week's webcast. Quest just released an ebook with tips from me, Pinal Dave, and Janice Griffin talking about ways to make your queries go faster. So tips for query tuning, index tuning. I'll give a confession. I haven't actually looked at the ebook. They just took my words from webcasts and turned them into an ebook. That's probably a really bad idea, right? It's probably got typos and stuff in there. So you can probably get bonus points for going to brennozar.com/go/optimization, finding all of my typos, sending them to me, and then I'm sure everything will be just fine. Code with Sean says, gotcha, I'm using OBS now, considering using Stream Elements when I start streaming. I liked Stream Elements a lot. And if you use Windows, it's fine. It's just on the Mac. The Mac is the kind of, this is CGS, yes, that's exactly correct. On the Mac, it's just like a second-class citizen. So they released it for the Mac, but they only really did a preview of it, and they had a whole bunch of bugs, and they've only released a couple of test versions. It's the same ebook. It should be the same ebook. It hasn't changed at all. You just go open it and actually read it. Jedi Mind Gorilla, good for you. 1 to 2 foot waves. Ooh, fun. I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to do a short day today or not. I'm actually kind of excited that my client finished fairly early in the morning because now I'm probably going to go out for breakfast and take a nap here shortly. I say take a nap. I'm going to take a nap at closer to 12 noon. I'm a huge nap fan. I love naps. And so when they had the whole coronavirus thing and part of the symptoms were that you get tired easily, I'm like, I don't know how much more I could be. Napping is wonderful. Not the DBA you're looking for. It is Adam Savage's company. So I've got several things from Adam's company. Big fan of Adam Savage and the whole Tested team. Used to love their webcasts or podcast. It was just fantastic. Still Untitled. How long do I take my nap? I tend to do 1 hour, and I don't even need a alarm. I just wake up automatically in an hour. So my wife's always shocked by that. She's like, you can take a nap and actually wake up? I'm like, well, yeah, I love what I'm doing, so it's kind of fun. So it's kind of neat. See, I can't do that. If I sleep for like 3 or 4 hours, I'm just boned. Like if I even try to like go back to sleep, oh, that screws the rest of my day. CGS, I did not. I keep meaning to, but one of the things I love about having a stream and a podcast is that I can say I want to do things, and very often y'all will do them for me. It's kind of like, who was it? Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds, the founder of Linux, said that real people or real developers don't take backups. They just upload their stuff to FTP and they let the rest of the world mirror it for them. I was like, wow, okay, well, I can't really disagree. Oh, someone asked me where the frames were from. The frames are a German company. IC Berlin, which is also Tim Cook's glasses, same glasses. Exact CGS. Yeah, someone else will buy a sombrero and send it to me. Yeah, all right, so that's good. We should probably take a bio break. We've been going for a while now, 54 minutes. Oh, it's also coming up on 8 o'clock, and I could go get a lox and bagel. I don't think I'm going to do it, though. I think I'm going to stay in here today. Okay, so what we'll do, you and me both. So we'll take a 5-minute bio break, and when we come back, I'll knock out another couple of issues with the First Responder Kit to prep for next month's release. I say next month's release. I might actually drop it on like Monday or Tuesday. CGS, do they deliver from the coffee shop? The thing is, it's like right downstairs. I'm in a high rise, and like everything's locked up, and security guards and all that kind of thing. And so delivery people can't come in. They just leave things at the door, and then you have to go down and meet them like at the front desk. You have to have like biometrics to get in the elevator, stuff like that. So they do deliver, but then I'd still have to go down all the way to the ground floor, and at that point, yeah, the dumb waiter is me. Dumb waiter is me. All right, so let's take a 5-minute bio break, and then when I come back, I'll keep working on the First Responder Kit. So I'll see y'all back here in 5 minutes. Now, did it mute my microphone? No, of course it did not. All right, let's go fix that. Or I could just leave back. So, I don't know why I say so. Just welcome back. That's all there is to it. Man, the auto brightness thing is so hard, especially with all the tricky stuff that I've got going on here with the big, huge windows behind me. I try to, like, this is part of the effort in order to, like, balance the light out, because I have a thing on the Sony where I can pick exactly where I want the light to focus on. So I try to make it, like, right here, but it's still kind of wonky. CGS, I work and get free training and query bucks. Woo! The Yeti guide, yeah, you know what really makes a difference in terms of the quarantine is seeing people, is seeing out there, like also Halo also makes a difference, is being able to look out there and see cars going by and see people out and around on the streets. We, for the longest time, Erica and I have lived in high rises, and it makes it feel like you're still a part of something. Oh, hey, Jarrett, welcome to the club. It makes you feel like still something else going on inside the world. Whereas I know when I've lived for brief periods of time in the middle of nowhere, and then it feels like there's a pandemic or a coronavirus, even when there's not. Just like that there's nothing going on outside there. CGS says, will you be living on the cold, hard ground in Iceland? Yes. Have a vacation house out in the middle of nowhere. Or Icelanders call them a summer house. So a summer house out in the middle of nowhere. They're called summer houses, even though a lot of times they're year-round type things. But they tend to get them out in the middle of nowhere so that you can just have all this peaceful view of mountains and fjords and stuff like that. So I really, especially floor-to-ceiling glass windows, so you can just look out on the outdoors. We really love that kind of thing. Plus, some of it is security too. In the States, like when I used to go out and travel, hell, I don't travel anymore. When I used to go out and travel, I felt much more confident knowing that Erica was behind a bunch of security stuff, so she didn't have to worry about people going through. Like the rioters that came through, there were actual rioters here in San Diego. Like, I know there's a whole bunch of controversy around like the Portland thing. There was an actual riot here. People throwing things, breaking storefront windows. The storefronts had to be all boarded up and stuff. So that stuff like that, I'm kind of glad when we're behind some. We have a lot of homeless people here. Who could blame them? San Diego's gorgeous. It's gorgeous year round. If you're going to be homeless, San Diego's a pretty doggone good place to be homeless. People are like, how do we fix the homeless problem? I'm like, well, sure. I mean, you want to invest some in community housing. There's a whole bunch of community housing projects around here. But two, there are some people who want to be homeless. I'm like, I don't think you fix that here in San Diego. It's just gorgeous. Miami, same deal. When we lived on Lincoln Road, down by Lincoln Road in Miami Beach, it was the same kind of thing. I'm like, why would you not want to be here year round? It's completely gorgeous, except for the people, like Europeans who go in Speedos and, they don't have good bodies. They're bodies like mine. That's always the people who wear. The LA homeless situation is awful. LA is another level. LA is really tough. 3 teacups got broken. Richie, more specifically, are the Speedos your goal? Because you could achieve that goal today. Heaven forbid you put that on your Instagram feed, because Lord knows that I don't want to see it. Okay, so let's look. Let's see what we've got here. So the next bug that I want to go fix. SP Blitz Cache has a Speedos plus 300 pounds. You're going to have to stop running, man. That's part of it. You're too dang healthy. So SP Blitz Cache, a little while ago, we put in a warning about multiple queries with the same plan, a whole bunch of single-use queries. And this always surprises people when I explain this. There were even some really big people in the SQL Server community who are like, Brent, there is no way that what you're describing really happens. And it totally does. In order to explain it, I'm going to go pop over into one of the Stack Overflow databases. And I'm going to first just drop my indexes. Then I'm going to go create an index, display name on DBO users, display name. Then I'm going to create a query. I'm going to say select star from DBO users where display name equals Brent Ozar. And just for the ease of it, you know what? I'm actually going to put it all on one line just because I'm going to be writing a couple of things inside of here. So I got this query, select star from users where display name equals Brent Ozar. If I go through and I run that, it's got a pretty simple execution plan. If I go in and I look at the plan, come down here, SQL Server says, okay, great. I'm going to seek in on the display name index, and then I'm going to go do a key lookup because I have to bring back all of the extra columns that you asked for inside the select star. Okay, pretty simple, not so bad. In order to illustrate it, I'm going to free my plan cache, which you shouldn't normally do this in production often, but it helps me to tell the story here. I'm going to have SQL Server free the plan cache, run the query, and then run sp-blitzcache. And as a reminder, what sp-blitzcache does is it shows you the queries that are in memory. So here's a query. Select star from users where display name equals Brenno's are. I have one query that's being, I have one query. How does that math work? So now, if I come in and I do the exact same query again, if I run the same query twice, if I say select star from users where display name equals Brenno's are, run the same exact query twice, and then I run sp-blitzcache, I still only have one query in cache, and I'm going to drag it around here so that I can show it just a little bit easier. Here, SQL Server says you have one query in cache, and that query has been executed 2 times. Makes sense. I ran the same query twice. However, if I take this and change the name, and I say, for example, Lady Gaga, and then I run it, I would like to point out that Lady Gaga is on Stack Overflow. She does have a Stack Overflow account. I would also like to point out that this is the only place in the world where my reputation is higher than Lady Gaga's. But if I do those queries twice in a row, if I turn around, free the plan cache, and then run those 2 queries, and then I run sp-blitzcache, we have a different result this time. Let's zoom in and see it. So SQL Server says that I've run 2 different queries. In this case, they may have the same plan. They may not always, because depending on the number of users who match, SQL Server may make different decisions as to whether it should do an index seek plus a key lookup or whether it should do a table scan. This is not parameter sniffing. This is the opposite of parameter sniffing, where SQL Server is essentially building a fresh query plan for every single query that runs. So if I go run these 2 again, and I include the execution plan this time, and I go look, I got lucky in this case, and they both have the same exact execution plan. But you can imagine, now I say same execution plan, they're not the same. Notice the different numbers of estimates. There's only one Brento's R, of course there is. And then there are 3,488 Alex's. But as you start to hit the tipping point, that's where you start to get into trouble. So the problem that we're looking for when we go through and look in your plan cache is we're looking to see, do you have a whole lot of queries for what is or a whole lot of execution plans cached for what is essentially the same query? That's what this warning is right here in sp-blitzcache. Hey, buddy! I guess sp-blitzcache kind of sounds like Clippy. Hey, buddy! Looks like you've got 2 plans for what's essentially the same query. And then, so here's where the bug hits. Hey, buddy! And let's go shrink this down around here so that you can see it a little easier inside one window. The second result set of sp-blitzcache that people use, and they don't often pay attention to this one. D. Sanchez, welcome back. 2nd month subscriber. Thank you. I appreciate it. So down here in this kind of new, analysis part of sp-blitzcache, it says, hey, buddy, you have many single-use plans. You have 2 plans in the cache, and 200% of them are single-use plans. Math is hard. So that's the warning. Now at least we have a repro that we can reproduce the thing that this user is complaining about. Simon says, it's kind of cool how that works out. Simon says that we have duplicate or higher than 100% math inside here. What are we doing wrong? Now sometimes users will actually tell me the exact line that I need to go fix. But not so here for Simon. Simon just told me what the problem is. This Clippy is way smarter. Thanks, Santi. So this one is way smarter. But now let's go through and fix it. I'm going to slap the current milestone on this one. Let's go create a GitHub branch for it. Switch back over into the dev branch, fetch the origin to get our most recent changes, and then let's go create a branch. So this is 2480 SP Blitz Cache, plan cache math, or single use plans math. Single use plans math. New branch. And now let's go open up SP Blitz Cache, and we can, if we can find where that's at. So we'll go SP Blitz Cache, and the thing we're looking for here is, come back over on this side. So the thing that we're looking for here is, let's zoom in. So we're looking for percent our single use plans. Let's see if we can find the not the DB you're looking for. Yes, absolutely. As long as you're not building dynamic SQL, your friend is correct. If you're building dynamic SQL, you can still have the problem. But otherwise, you're correct. This leads to an interesting side discussion, too. I know some database administrators are all like, you should parameterize, or you should put everything inside a stored procedure. That way you don't have problems like this. Yeah, but it's really easy to write a crappy stored procedure. And hey, good morning, Netherlands. Or good afternoon, as it were. But it's really easy to write a crappy stored procedure, and stored procedures are much harder to version control. So I'm not one of those people who's like, you should put everything in a stored procedure. But I will say that if you do put your queries in stored procedures, it makes it easier to hire a T-SQL expert and get a rapid improvement in performance, because we can just edit the stored procedures live and not test them, just like you've been seeing me do here. So now let's go see where this is at inside the cache. So let's go look for our single use plans, because I bet that's a string that will get me where I want to go. Our single use plans. And here we go. So there's this thing called p% single. Where are we calculating percent single? So let's copy that, and we'll go do a Control F for that. So there, percent single. So here we go. Convert single use plan count from single use plans. So let's say that was 2 divided by total plans. Oh, because total plans probably combines the, all right, so let's see where this is calculated from. Single use plans. Let's see here, find single use plans as, oh, it's a CTE right above. Oh, I love it when that happens. Okay, so duplicate plan handles. Let's see if we go up a little further. Okay, so this one just counts the number of rows. Then this one says count as the number, count big as single use plans. So this is getting it from cached plans. And this one is getting it from query stats. All right, so let's run these queries separately outside of the stored proc, and let's go see what we have. So I'm going to copy this stuff out, copy out these queries, and I'm going to paste them into a new window just so that we can kind of test our math. So this is supposed to be, I don't, Gaumbunga, because SP Blitz is kind of epic. I don't use the debugger period. I use print statements. So SP, or this is total plans. And then this down here is single use plans. And then, so there we go, having count big greater than 1, okay. So here's our 2 diagnostic queries. Let's go get our repro query from earlier. So we're going to free the plan cache. We're going to run 2 queries that are each single use. Then we're going to see what data comes out of these 2 diagnostic queries. And we'll start seeing how that division is going to go. So run these 2, and then run this. All right. What the what? So probably what happened was like an IntelliSense query got in the way. So let's go through and run all of them. Oh, no. The DMV query might actually be one. Okay, so let's execute that again. Yeah, that's what's happening is the DMV query is one of them. So it's saying that single-use plans, their total number of plans is 2, and then the single-use plan count is 3. So what it's doing is it's thinking the count big. All right, so I'm going to dig a little deeper into this. Select star from sysdm exec query stats. Let's go run the queries again. And then I'm going to run these two separately, and I'm going to talk you through it. And to do it, let's get its count big star. Star. Let's try that. So execute and then get these two. All right. So in here, system exec query stats, why would I have 2 lines up there and then 3 lines down here? Wait, what? Oh, because that includes the DMV query. That's the same damn DMV. I'm like, that's the same query. How can one have 2 and not the other? Because it's the third one is going in and hitting the DMV. Damn it, this is going to make things just a little bit trickier. So in there, let me go back over to here. Single-use plans. So this is going from cached plans. Query stats, count big from cache plans, where use count. So this should get me 2, and then this should also get me 2. Why would that break? Let's execute that again. Why would that break? Oh, let's go to our division. Oh, what am I thinking? Okay, so let's keep going down to where we're doing the division. So say that we come up with 2 total plans in the cache, and then 2 single-use plans. So if we get single-use plan is 2 divided by 2, that should be 100%. Why would I get more? Why would that happen? Why would I get 1 times total plans? Oh, that's really weird. So single-use plan count, so like what would cause it to get select 3 divided by, just to make sure I understand what's happening. So 2.0 divided by 1.0, that would get me 200%. So it's thinking that single-use plans is a higher number. Hi, Robert. So it's thinking that single-use plans is a high number and total plans is a lower number. So single-use plans would be count from cache star, where use counts equals having count big. So it's only the number of rows where thank you. Just surprised. Hi, well, or subscribed. Thank you from YouTube there. And actually, you should like obscure my code. Continue obscuring my code because I really don't want to look at what this is. So I've got a situation where single-use plan count is high, but total plans is low. So system exec query. System exec query stats would have multiple, or would have only 1 line. Is that possible? Can system exec query stats only have 1 line in it when there are multiple lines in cached plans? So let's go see what makes this thing unique. So what makes this thing unique is, coming in, a token that uniquely identifies the batch. And I should only have 1 plan handle, though. Okay, let's go in and see what's inside. Let's run those multiple different queries for me and Lady Gaga again. And let's go see what's inside of sysdm exec query stats. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a few more plans into here just to get myself more rows. So we'll put in Joris, and then we'll put in, just because Robert Coppage just showed up, we'll put in Robert Coppage. Lord only knows if that's his stack name or not. Let's free the plan cache. Then let's go run select star from dm exec query stats and see what we get. So this is what I expected to get. If I run 4 different queries, I should see 4 different lines inside here. They are all the same. They are all the same query. So I should see 4 different lines in the second query that are single use as well. So let's see here. I'm going to redo that same exact trick. I'm going to free the plan cache and run those 4 queries. Then I'm going to check this system exec cache plans and see what that comes up with. 5, which is okay. Damn it. Why is that erroring out then? Now, 5 divided by 4 would get me, just to double check that I'm not missing something obvious, 5 divided by 4.0. Yeah, if I do run the same one again, I immediately get 5. Why would I, is there a, could there, what happens if the plans aren't cached? No, that would provide the other way around. What would happen if I had more plans in the cache than I had system exec query stats? That's not it either, though, because both of these are getting cached. Let's go back in and take another look at this. So let's see. Let's go all the way down to does group by cache object type. I'm not going to go that direction. No, that's an interesting thing, but I'm not going to go in that direction. So for many use plans, single use plans, so am I doing a group? I'm not doing a grouping here. So it's saying this single use plan count divided by total plans. Let's try running just this query by itself just to make sure that this is incorrect here at this point of the query, because it's possible that we're manipulating it later, although I don't think so. Now I'm going to lose this part of it because I don't need to insert into a temp table. So let's try that. Not the DBA you're looking for. All right, so let's try it now. Percent single, yep, see, it's failing already. So percent single use is showing higher than 100% because there are more rows in cached plans than there are in DM exec query stats, which shouldn't be possible. Thank you. You're welcome. I will. Let's see is it possible that there would be rows in here that are not in system exec query stats? So here returns a line for each query plan that's cached. So bucket, is it possible that this thing holds, oh, damn, I can't do, I was like, my first reaction is, oh, I should just do an inner join between, hi John, I should do an inner join between the plan cache and this, but that would suck. That'll absolutely take forever. And I'm trying to get just a really high level number here. What if I don't use system exec query stats? What it may, what if instead of using system exec query stats up here, I use the same one that we're using down below? What if I use system exec cache plans? Let's see what that does. Let's try that. And, oh, hey! Well, that's also incorrect, though. Because I can't have, maybe it's another bug in SQL Server, yeah, but I can't have 11 plans in my cache right now. I've only run 4 queries. What the hell's going on with system exec, system exec cache plans? So let me go select star out of there, because that seems even weirder. Select star from, boom, from. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm freeing the plan cache. I'm running 4 queries. I'm saying go show me all of the cache plans. See what's going on inside of here. Okay, so there are 5 rows inside here. Why did that CTE show 11. Do we have a bad join? So this is, let me go back and run this again. I'm going to free the plan cache. I'm going to run this. I wonder if it's a problem in the joins. Execute. So it shows total plans as 11. Where the hell's total plans coming from? T is coming from total plans up here. That should be you. All right, let's see what's happened if I do a different join. So I'm going to take select T star from select star. We'll go select T star, M star, S star from, and we'll copy this from down here. Copy and paste and put in our final. I wonder if it's a problem that we've got rows that are duplicating. I don't think that's the case. No, I've only got those. What on earth is going on that when I run this in a CTE, I get 11 rows? So Carson says, would a query in systemexec cache plans add a new row? Yes, but just one. I'm only running in all 6 queries. How the hell is it showing? How the heck is it showing 11 total plans? If I go back and I say, I wonder if this is doing individually. So I'm doing select star. Let's try this. Select star from systemexec cache plans after I run the total plans piece. And let's see what shows up inside there. Go. Execute. Okay. So now, oh no, we have a bug. We have a bug. Okay. Oh, we have a bug. Dang it. That's, oh, no. Well, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We have a bug. There are, oh, no. There are lots of buckets inside here. So we may have a, oh, yep, look at what, oh, dang it. Oh. I don't want you. You are useless to me. I only want compiled plans. I don't want parse trees for views. Aha. Okay. So in my filter, when I'm looking at execution plans, I should not be including parse trees. Now let's see what else we should have. Yes, and which means the bug is on our side. And I don't know exactly who originally wrote this query. Probably wasn't me because I'm not that smart enough to do this. So let's look at then what are the other kinds of things that we find in systemexec cache plans inside that cached object type. So the cached object types that are available here, a friend wrote it. Yes, exactly. So these are the different options that are out there. I think the only thing that I want, yes, so many bad jokes about my bugs. I think the only thing that I want is compiled plans here. Now there's a catch that if I had optimized for ad hoc, that I might actually want compiled plan stubs. But if you notice inside this query, there was a filter to just ignore this on servers where optimized for ad hoc is turned on because it just wouldn't be an issue there. So I think I want to filter in here for cache object type equals compiled plan. As a side note, before I started working as a consultant, I always thought I would never be the kind of person who looks at the granularity of things like system objects trying to parse out exact details. There are still moments like this where I can't believe I get to do this for a living. This is like the coolest thing ever, that I get to go spelunking in SQL Server's diagnostic management views and go see things like this. I love my job. Woo! So let's come over here and add a filter inside there. Let's say, instead of this, let's say where CP object type in ad hoc compiled plan, I want to say was the other one. Let's go back over and look. Compiled plan and ad hoc isn't even in. Did I get the right? Did I get cached object type? No, that's object type. So I want cache object type. So that you. All right, let's try that. Oh, it's the wrong filter, moron. There. Okay, so that should do it. Now let's see what happens. Let's go get, I don't need this anymore. I'm going to put that down below the comment line. Okay, so let's see what our numbers look like now. I actually don't want that. I want this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the plan cache. I'm going to run 4 queries. Then I'm going to run this diagnostic. Sweet. So now we correctly have 100% single-use plans. Do I believe that this is good enough for production? Probably not. We do need a cheer button for chat. I had that on for a while ago when I first started streaming. I first started streaming and couldn't, I was like, didn't have a big enough audience at the time, and I was like, I don't really quite work how the soundboard works, and now I gotta go add that back in because there's so many of y'all now. Okay, so change the number of queries? Sure. So we'll say, who was the person that said change the number of queries? That was CGS. So we'll say CGS, what was it, 878? 878. Execute, and then come down here, and it beautifully shows that. Now let's redo some of them. Let's have it so that some of them aren't single use. Let's say go 10. So let's execute that. Oh, did I only put, I did screw that up, didn't I? Oh, sad trombone. So now I've had some of them run multiple times. 83% of the plans, 5 out of 6, are single use. That is absolutely fantastic. Santi, it's 5 because, it's a great question. It's 5 because the currently running DMV query is one of them. Kind of funny how that works. Okay, so I like it. I think that's the thing that we need there. So I'm going to go add that filter into SP Blitz Cache. So let's see where we were. It's right here, and it's where the total number of plans, it needs to be in that list. So that is just fantastic. And this, why are you fuzzy underlying? DM exec query stats. Did I? Oh, I'm getting it from the wrong thing. Oh, originally we were getting from sysdm exec query stats. Oh, do I want to get from cache plans instead? I do. Let's go put that inside there, and let's save it. And I'm going to put it in master, master and execute. I don't know if I have this proc in Stack Overflow. So let's go try it again. We'll try now. Do a free the plan cache and see what happens. Now with our fixed version of the stored procedure, oh, fantastic! That actually works. That's wonderful. So now we're good. So I'm going to save that, and then let's go over to GitHub. Let's make sure that the only line that I changed was the line that we needed to fix there by adding in, changing the DMV that we were using and then changing the filter on it. So I'm going to say, what's our issue number? 2480. 2480. Object caches, not cached object type. Let's go take a look. Let's go see gsurgeon. So that is, oh, you're right. Yes, I don't need ad hoc inside there. So let's go ahead and get rid of that as well. So it's just equals compiled plan. So just to be a little bit more efficient there. Save, and let's go check it again. I'm going to put it in production again and just go execute it just to make sure. And yep, it still produces the correct results there. Still does just the 100% single-use plans, so that's fantastic. Now let's go back over to GitHub, and so here we go. Those are the things that we changed. SP Blitz Cache, single-use plan math, SP or we. Our single-use plan math wasn't quite right. Changed the source DMV and added a filter for just compile plans. Closes 2480. Commit. And then do a publish and a pull request. And there we go. Amen for that. You and me both. Every single day. Another one. And I'll say Brent Ozar is the assignee. The labels are bug and SP Blitz Cache. Milestone is this month's release. Bob the Lobster, that's pretty good. There's our create our pull request. Merge the pull request. And then back over on the issue. Fixed by changing the source DMV from where we pull total number of query plans. I'm not 100% confident. Yes, I do. Yep. For CGS, when I manage the open source project, that's exactly what I do. I go by the same workflow that other people would use. It's not a separate repo. I actually work in the main repo, but I have to put in the code as a separate branch, do a pull request, because I want to be able to track exactly what I changed and why for like which issues. I'm not 100% confident this will work. But we'll try it a few times during next week's training classes and make sure it produces the right results. Thanks for the report. It will be in August's release along with crediting you in the release notes. So comment, and then let's go edit our blog post over there. So this is 2480. SP Blitz Cache. So fix. Single use plans we're reporting over 100%. Number 2480, thanks. And then I got to go see who that was to credit them in the release notes. Let's see here. Simon Yeats, EAM. Yeet. Simon Yeats, EAM. Simon Yeats? Thanks, Simon Yeats. And why did I put a quote mark there? There we go. And paste and save that draft. All right, we're kicking butt. Okay, so we've been working for like an hour and a half now, and I'm happy that I've done a few pull requests there. I'm going to stop there. Oh, no. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man. So Richie lives down in South Florida, or as we also like to call it, North Cuba. But I love Miami. I absolutely adore Miami. It's especially Miami Beach. I really like Miami Beach, but I don't know that I would want to live there again. We lived there for a couple of years in South Beach when Erica was going to school in Miami. I don't know that I would want to live there again, but especially the flooding, man, just so. So we've been pulling for like an hour and a half. I'm actually probably going to stop here. I'm going to go downstairs, get breakfast. Yeah, right. We have been working. Well, you were doing code review. You could either put it down as training or in code review. Either of those would be totally good. So I don't think I'm going to do the release process today. I'll probably do the release process. We'll see either this weekend or Monday. I have Monday on my calendar blocked out as a prep for next week's training classes because I have the fundamentals of parameter sniffing on Tuesday, fundamentals of parameter sniffing on Tuesday, and then mastering parameter sniffing on Wednesday through Friday, I think. Andy Leonard, good to see you. Good to see you in here. So thanks everyone for hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I have a stream. It's only going to be an hour long because I actually have an emergency client on Saturday and Sunday. So it'll only be an hour long on Saturday. It'll be the first 2 hours or the 2 hours on Sunday, perhaps even longer. We'll kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. Yes. All right. So we the best, y'all. Thanks to y'all, and I will see y'all next time. Adios, everybody.